Good morning, friends. I come to show this huge book that I promised last week. She's a big one. She's 8 signatures thick. She has a cloth spine that I kind of went overboard on, but I worked with it and I'm glad I did. I'm in love with her. It's the cloth spine that I've been using lately when the book has lost its spine. It's a nice thick, I think it's called Matisse fabric on the outside, and then on the inside it's a canvas, a white canvas, and then I've distressed it by staining it. It's, like I said, 8 signatures, and it's the ties or the sewing has gone through the spine, so it's exposed. And then I connect it with holes through the book board and these brass colored paper fasteners that go through. And so on the inside I cover the fastener legs, the pokey parts, and I cover that with fabric. And so here you can see the canvas. It's a nice strong canvas. The book itself is 10 inches tall and 7 inches wide with a 4-inch cloth spine. I put some corner protectors on the outsides, and they go with the brass paper fasteners. The book itself was titled The World's Fair, and it was about the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. And I wish I knew what I did with the book block, the original book block. I scoured my house and I can't find it. So I had to go online, and I learned a lot, and I encourage you to, if you like history, if you like that kind of thing, go and find everything you can about this particular World's Fair. I think you'll enjoy the history. Okay, so we'll get started because she's a big one, and I'm going to try to go fast. Okay, I do have some of the original pages because I had saved the book boards for quite some time, maybe a year or so, even more. I've just had this tucked away for a long time, and at that time when I started thinking about making this book, I had tucked away these original pages, but that's all I have. So I put those on the first signature, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's just like the title page, and it was copyright 1892. I think I've been reading up on it, and if you search for 1892, 1893 Chicago World's Fair, you end up learning about this particular fair. So maybe it spanned, a whole year or two. I'm not really sure about that. So, okay, so there's coffee stained pages, there's digital pages that I've incorporated in, thinking, there's always innovation that they talk about in the World's Fair. The countries come together and they show what, they feature what innovations they have. Okay, so I put in some what I think are like families of that era and the dress of that era. So here's a little tuck spot I made, and I love this gathered fabric that I put at the bottom, and some rickrack, and it spills down below the page. So there's a little tuck spot there. And these ladies, I think it's a mama and her 5 daughters, they're going to go to the fair. There's music pages. There's an extra little tuck spot. It just tucks in there like that, and it's a pretty graphic that you can jot some memories in. And then there's an extra little page there that Goes in this belly band that looks like an envelope. I always have to put some flowers in my books. There's a map page. Lots of ledger pages because it's such a large format. I needed large format paper. Or I ended up sewing pages together, which they call Franken pages. So that's like you make your own large format pages from smaller snippets or smaller pages. I put my binder clips in to hold little pieces. This was something I found online about, I think it was like maybe a poster about the World's Fair, Chicago World's Fair. And there's several of those throughout, and I may not voice or talk about it because I've got to get going. Here's an old envelope and a tag. Goes in this little pocket here. I punched some pretties there along the side of that page. Here's a printout I found online. It was the bird's eye view of the world's Columbian Exposition, Chicago, 1893. Here's a little pocket here. This just opens up for more writing space. Here's a pocket here. Oh, I love this calligraphy on this paper. An old ledger. And then on this side is a pocket with a tag in it. Here's another envelope. It's a pocket, not a belly band. It just goes that far with some extra journaling space. And then this flips open as well. And it's another pretty image. We're getting lots of snow today. I scooped about 8 inches first thing this morning, and now it's covered up already. We're in central Nebraska. Okay, so here's some ladies that are going to the fair. Aren't they snappy dressers? And I made this little pocket here. And that's more of the original book pages. And from now on, each signature cover has molding paste. I don't know if you can see that or not. See how that is? It's pretty. And I punched the side of this paper too. There's a pocket with a long flashcard. Long and skinny. I love this poster. This was must have been a poster about the art and handicraft woman's building. Here's a Franken page. Here's a map page with Chicago there. Here's another one of my binder clips, and it's holding 2 tickets for the World's Fair in Chicago. There's some more of that pretty calligraphy. Here's another window envelope tuck spot and some extra places to journal. And then there's a pocket on the side as well with some things inside. There's a family that's going to the fair. Here's a picture I found online. There was a place that was like a gondola, like Venice, where there's, water is your street, and so this features that, I think. Thanks for being patient. I'm going to go real fast here. This will be available on my Etsy shop. There's my thank you card. Cracker Jacks were featured. I think this was the first fair that Cracker Jacks were made. And whenever I think of fairs, I think about the ride tickets. So there's several tickets throughout. This is the third signature, and in one of the pages in the third signature is actually an envelope, a manila envelope, and so you can tuck things in. Here's like I think this is like a world climate map from an old encyclopedia. And then there's a pocket with a skinny tag in it with butterflies. World map again. The Ferris wheel was first introduced at this fair. They wanted something really grand, and I think they wanted it to be as grand as the Eiffel Tower, I think is what, if I remember right. And so the Ferris wheel was introduced that year. I hope I'm right in what I'm saying, because my memory at this age, I'm lucky to remember day-to-day things, but I think that's what I remember. And the Ferris wheel was a big part of this particular fair. I had already filmed this video once, and so some of these things I should have put this back together. This is a poem that I like to put in every one of my journals. This is just some lightweight typing paper from probably the, I don't know, 50s maybe. And then I just made this little envelope out of book pages, and there's some nice fun little things inside here. There's like tickets to the World's Fair in here, and then I like to put whimsical things in, and these are on my Etsy site. Some little whimsical animal. I think they were like postcards or something. They're copies of that. And so I had this tied. I'll tie it when I go through this again. This is all ratty the way it came. And so I left it. That's just part of it. Here's some of those tickets, and this is a stamp, like a mailing stamp. Maybe it's enlarged for the World's Fair. Some more of what the ladies might have been wearing at that time, and my little butterfly message to my buyer. Butterflies again. There's another one of those molding pastes. Beautiful air balloon. Hot air balloon. And I teased you guys last week of what I was putting in this journal, and I always like to put my aunt in my journals, and here she is as a little butterfly, and so she just comes out from peeking. She's peeking at us. This kind of is big and it wants to turn down, so when you turn the next page, just tuck it in or tear it off so it won't get caught again, but I'm leaving it as it is, just so the new owner will know that. This flips out, and there's another one of my binder clips with more tickets. This flips out, and it's a map of the site where the fair was. There's some more molding paste. And there's the Ferris wheel again. There's the Ferris wheel again. Some more tickets. 1893. These are price tags. And so I just put them together, 1893. And there's the Ferris wheel again. There's an envelope with more things inside. I just prettied up the bottom of this page and on the side because the glue was going through, so I wanted to keep the glue from getting on this other page. There's another pretty lady getting ready to go to the fair. That's a journaling card you can write on the back of her. There's another long flash card. More molding paste. Is it molding or modeling? I think it's molding paste. Some more innovations. Thank goodness we've got the smart people that invent things. More Franken pages, and they just kind of ratty-tatty on the side of the page there. Another binder clip and another Ferris wheel journaling card. This is a beautiful poster of the Exposition, World's Columbian Exposition, Chicago, 1893. I love this picture of these three kids. They're available on my Etsy. I think I enlarged it a little bit, and so I made kind of what looks like a cabinet card with it, and so then you can open this up and there's more space to write, and there's space to write here. Another tuck spot here with some pretty ladies and their dresses. This is a little tuck spot here. There's buildings that are in Chicago I don't know at that time or not. I love the architecture, and I found this in the old encyclopedia. I always like to include architecture in my journals as well. And this is just an old something out of a piano book, I think. This one is number, what would this be? 876. Signature 6. I hope you guys are all well. We're doing pretty good here. We'll be stuck inside for a couple days at least. We did go out this morning because I needed to get groceries. I couldn't go to the store yesterday when I should have. So my hubby took me into town with the 4-wheel drive pickup. Glad we went when we did. This is a pretty painting of the World's Fair grounds. I love that. Just some journaling cards here and some more tickets. Another binder clip, and that's like a street view of people going to the fair. Here is number 7. This is a tuck spot here, and I just put a bunch of labels behind there. I think there's 4 labels. Oh boy, did they get stuck? Anyway, there's 2 more underneath here. I'll work on getting those where they're easier to get to. I love this little tuck spot I made. This picture, I got it at think it was an antique store. It's actually like a big wall size picture, but I was able to reduce it in size, of these beautiful little ladies. I don't know if they're sisters or if maybe this is the mom and her 4 girls, but look at that, aren't they pretty? And they're ready to go to the fair. So I kind of scrunched it up, made it look old, backed it with some brown paper, put a little bow here, made a little tuck spot, and it's like a poster of the World's Fair. I love it. Here's another tuck spot and another painting of the grounds of the World's Fair. Some more journal cards. This is another family that's going to go to the fair. Wrigley's gum was introduced at the fair as well. Here's a W card for the World's Fair, and isn't she pretty? She's going to go to the fair. One of my favorite movies, Meet Me in St. Louis. They go to the World's Fair that was held in St. Louis, and I remember how they were all dressed up and just beautiful fashions. I can't remember the year of that. I want to say 1912, but I'm not sure. And here's just one of those game cards. I can't remember what that's from. Lotto maybe, I'm not sure, but that's an extra space for journaling for you. There's another one of those decorated pages. Here's a tuck spot with a window envelope that's been collaged. And then there's a tuck spot here, and this is another view of some of the buildings at the fair. Another tuck spot here. The tickets come out. They just are on the edge of the pocket here. These men are going to go to the fair and try to find those pretty ladies. It's another binder clip with some tickets. There's another, I think this was a postcard at one time, and I've enlarged it. And it says compliments of the Portland Hotel Company, Portland, Oregon. And it's the agricultural building at the World's Columbian Exposition, 1893. Another pocket. And that is that. Oh, I forgot to tell you, she only has 564 pages. So that is the World's Fair, all in one book. And I sure hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, please. And hit the bell so that you're reminded of upcoming videos. I'll close for now, and I'll see you at my next video. Thanks for coming along. Bye now.